With our sessions today, we have amongst us another highly talented and knowledgeable speaker. A speaker who has great knowledge and insight on building business around sustainability, if I may say so. This particular gentleman is a serial entrepreneur and a founder of Recykal, which was founded in 2016. Recykle's digital solutions have brought end-to-end connectivity between various stakeholders in the waste management industry, which was a fragmented ecosystem altogether. He believes that technology is indeed the driving force behind brands, informal sectors, recyclers, aggregators, and the government authorities as well. Before Recykal, he also founded MartJack in 2007 to create India's first SaaS company engaged with an enterprise e-commerce platform. This gentleman has been quite instrumental in conceptualizing the company's vision, the product market fit, sales, team, and its eventual scale. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for none other than Mr. Abhay Deshpande, who's the founder of Recykal. Please put your hands together for Sir. Sir, we welcome you with all our hearts. Thank you so much for taking out the time today. The stage belongs to you.
Thanks. Thanks for the great introduction. So, next 10-15 minutes, I would like to share with you that the latest venture which we're building, which is around sustainability and which is a new buzzword. Started in 2016. I think this is my third baby, but every startup is like a baby because the kind of attention, kind of nurturing you have to do. And every baby is special, every baby is different. So I have done two startups before. So I'll just give you a context about my startup journey. Like I just, in the 25th year of my entrepreneurship journey, started in 97, 98. So I started the first marketplace of India in 97, 98. And that was e-commerce marketplace while people were not even aware about internet. And I started working on a marketplace model. Ran it for 7 years. The company name was malamal.com. First marketplace, first payment gateway in India was given to that company. Couldn't become Malamal from monetary perspective, but learned a lot about entrepreneurship. It was really a learning experience. In 2008, I started a first SaaS company of India, software as a service, that called MartJack. After that, a lot of companies came up. And in 2015, that got acquired by Capillary Technologies, which is a Singapore-based company, one of the decent exit during those days. So after 17 years of a tough entrepreneurial journey, I could see that cycle got closed and all my investors, all the employees, team members, some wealth got created. And I think that was something most satisfactory day for me that I could bring a change in at least 200, 250 people's life. So after doing that, I came out, I was there for 1.5 years. And being an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. So this time I was looking for some real problem to be solved. The whole idea was, I have done e-commerce, I have done SaaS, what's next? What is the next big challenge to be solved? And somewhere that gut feel and instinct that waste management looks like opportunity. And waste is everywhere. We all know that every consumer, every household, every business actually deals with waste. It's a common problem. At the same time, we saw that the country is spending so much of money on the waste management, still the problem is same. There is no solution for it. And we thought that can we do something there? Is the disruption possible there? By then, like most of the startups were coming and trying to disrupt the business before consumption, pre-consumption and consumption state. We saw Ola, Swiggy coming in and solving some problem at a consumption and pre-consumption stage. But nobody was looking at the post-consumption stage of the product and resources. So we felt that it looks like opportunity, and we didn't really know the sustainability and circular economy word by then. By then it was a kachre ka business, right? The recycle from a kabadi wala, digital kabadi wala to a sustainability platform in last 6 years has been a journey. All these words which we talk today and the topic which is given to me, sustainability, was not even heard of in 2016 or 17 we started it. So we felt that this is opportunity and this problem to be solved. And just to give some numbers, waste management has such a large impact on all of us in the country that 1.7% of Indian population gets food every day because somebody in their family is working in waste management. And even IT doesn't have that kind of impact. And that's the bottom of the pyramid, very bad situation. The kind of life they live is very bad. So that kind of like almost 3.5 crore people, right? They get paid because of somebody who's working from collection to recycling. And it's a huge opportunity. It's a huge, like quite a big opportunity. So we felt let's try there. And that's where the whole journey of Recykal started in 2016. As we know that the most important aspect of any startup is the team. And the team was the major focus for us also. So we got the right team in place. We have 4 more co-founders. We have 5 together. And we started the journey. I think Anirudh, Abhishek, Ekta, and Vikram are the other co-founders. And each one comes from a different background. So we got together, we said, okay, let's try to solve this problem and let's do something there. Although we knew that it's not an easy problem to solve because it's very informal, very cash-driven. So we gave first 2 years of our journey in only learning the space. And we could afford that. We wanted to just make sure that the solution which we are bringing to reality should be related to the problem. And we didn't know much. We had just few reports online. So we took that approach. We spent 2017 and 2018, these 2 years, going to each stakeholder, working with them at ground, met hundreds of rack pickers, kabadiwalas, all those stakeholders, each one of them we interacted, tried to understand the way they do business. We could have done this with a create a platform and then go to them, but we took a reverse approach. And that 2 years we generally call internally as a Harvard MBA in waste management. I think that actually gave us a lot of insights about what does the waste management works like and why there is a problem and what is the solution we could bring into. So after spending those 2 years and a lot of learning, few things we learned that there is no bigger opportunity than waste management, like e-commerce, m-commerce, SaaS are very, very small as compared to waste management. This is not a new industry. This has been there for 100 years. 100 plus years, waste is getting managed. But then it is not getting really the way it has to get managed because a lot of resources go to landfill, most of the segregation doesn't happen. The problem does exist from the consumer house to the recycler. The whole supply chain is very cash driven. No data, nobody has a data. Somebody did a survey in 2014 at 500 houses and found that 250 grams waste is generated, multiplied by the whole population is the data which we have. The reality is completely different. So we actually got those insights in those first 2 years, what MBA we call it as, and we converted those learning into business. And I think 2018 and 19 is the period where we really started converting those learning into business. So from the first approach, first we launched a product called Used, that is a consumer application in 2016-17, where any consumer can download an app and can give a waste available at his home, right? It can be clothes, it can be paper, plastic, e-waste, anything. We had 500,000 downloads for that. We spent a lot of money. That was actually our part of our MBA, in fact, because we wanted to really understand how this ecosystem works. And when we saw the consumer behavior and how the consumer looks at waste, and a lot of new interesting aspect came into it, we saw that the consumer looks at each waste differently. So plastic, for example, is for him, he just takes the plastic, consumes it and throw it in a dustbin. Paper, he will never throw in dustbin, right? Whether he's a millionaire or a billionaire, he will keep it somewhere and at 7 rupees kg, 8 rupees kg, it will get sold. And all of us must be handling the same situation at home. And e-waste generally is a legacy waste. E-waste is lying at people's houses. Even a Nokia 110 phone of 2000 is lying at somebody's house because the perceived value of that phone is pretty high. So people treat each waste differently. So creating a uniform model for the complete waste management was a challenge. But we felt that at the same time, we understood that opportunity is more than $100 billion opportunity, only in the waste. And that's where our journey started. We launched our B2B marketplace in 2019. That was our starting point. We closed the B2C. We pivoted from B2C to B2B. Launched our B2B marketplace. We were doing pretty good, like large enterprises, Infosys, Horizon used to channelize their waste because a lot of them have a requirement of a traceability. And traceability and visibility became a very important aspect from the SDG goals and ESG goals. And that started coming in picture in 2019. Till then, nobody was really talking about it. By the time we got 1,000 plus clients and we were really going aggressive, the pandemic happened. And that's where another next level of pivot we have to do. We realized that now the next 1 or 2 years, all the corporates, all the bulk waste generators will not be there. That's where we then pivoted to an informal segment. We said that looks like a space which we need to go for. And 80% of the waste goes there anyways. All these kabadiwalas, aggregators, rack pickers, although they were in our agenda for 22, 23, but we had to prepone it. And that, I think, was a changing point for us. And then we built, pivoted completely, made our platform available for them, went to them. And two learnings we got: that waste never stops. Whether it was a pandemic or non-pandemic, waste was flowing. And then we realized that this is a business which is pandemic and recession free, because whether it is a recession or not, the consumption is not going to stop. There is going to be a waste going to keep on getting generated. So I think we saw that the pandemic, every business was impacted, everyone was impacted, but we saw 3 to 4x growth even in the last 2 years of pandemic. The business was going, that people have to collect the waste, it has to be processed. And during this process, we realized that we are actually bringing the circularity to the whole material flow, because circular economy plays a major role into a sustainability business. Sustainability is a broader segment, but a subset is circular economy. And we realized it while doing it. We're talking about marketplace, and then we realized that we are bringing circularity onto the product. We are actually, the consumer, the brand has produced it, sold it to the consumer has consumed it. Then we bought it back to the recycler, and recycler is again bringing it to the brand to use it again. So that actually brought the complete circularity, and naturally the reuse, recycle, the existing resources are used more, so naturally there is a sustainable way of doing business. So that really started working well, and from say 30, 40 people, initial team of 4, 5 people, we became almost a 300 people team now. And one thing happened in between that, there was in 2017, the government came up with a regulation where every brand has to take care of the waste they are generating. And that actually was a game changer in the waste management space. Like what demonetization did for fintech industry in 2016, where the whole perspective changed. This regulation of EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, did it for the waste management industry, where suddenly 50,000 brands became a part of waste ecosystem, which they were not earlier. So that was their responsibility, is a compliance requirement, so they have to fulfill it. So today, after 5 years, right, six and a half years almost, we are seeing that even a business, a tech business, can be built in waste. We're seeing that there are 30, 40,000 rack pickers, 5,000 kabadiwalas, recyclers. All of these guys are using technology. When we used to go to them initially, most of them said, "कचरे में कौन इंटरनेट पे कौन खरीदेगा?" The first question they used to ask is, "कचरा इंटरनेट पे कौन खरीदता है साहब? क्यों कर रहे हो ये सब?" So I think if there is a value, if you are bringing, what we did is we actually removed a couple of stakeholders which were not required in the ecosystem, that disintermediation which we did, where there were 7 people. By the time the waste goes out of your home and it reaches to the recycler, it goes through 7 different hands. And out of the 3, 4 don't add any value. They're just there because they have that muscle power and strength. So we actually removed those 2, 3 stakeholders. That value which was coming actually has gone to the people who are doing all the dirty work of collection at the ground level. And that actually brought the change. And technology anyway today, 55 to 60% of rack pickers have smartphones. So they do when we did that MBA, we realized that they do that work up to 11:30, 12, whatever money they make, they buy their drinks and then use YouTube for consuming local contents for 3, 4 hours per day. So we said the phone is available, technology is there. Thanks to Jio, it's like everyone has a internet access also. So using that disruption, even the level of rack picker also started using the platform and really started gaining. And as I always say, there are only 2 things which changes the behavior. One is the fear factor or a greed, one of them. In the case of rack pickers, it was a greed because they were getting extra benefits from us, so they adopted our technology. In case of brands, there was a fear factor because it was a compliance requirement. If they don't comply with the regulation, their business was at risk. So both things really worked, and at the right time, with the right intervention from government also helped us. So today, I think we see that from the kabadiwala collecting clothes and paper from people's home to a location where we are working with 150 or 200 brands today for their sustainability and ESG goals. And they're using our platform and technology is a journey which we have crossed. Huge opportunity in sustainability. I generally tell them that every company today, thanks to pandemic, I think people understood the value of resources and sustainability. 2 years back, nobody was as bullish about the sustainability as it was before. Today, every company, at least the multinational companies, are pretty serious about it. They wanted their ESG goals not to be just on the report at the ground level. They wanted even to involve their employees into the process, and that's where we are providing them the platforms and technology to achieve their ESG goal and sustainability goals and bring that circularity into the ecosystem. We have been like growing, as I said, three to 4x. We are right now a 300 people team. Recently raised a Series A from Morgan Stanley around 3-4 months back, and there are enough interest from the investment community for this space, because this is something, even the decision comes now, ESG is going to be the focus area, because the financial benefits for the company, the funding, even for a small startup like us, when we raised the first round of $2 million, there was a ESG audit. So that kind of seriousness now ESG and sustainability is taking up. So I think the corporate world, and unless this goes to a consumer, unless somebody takes it to the consumer level, unless the consumer is aware about his own personal sustainability goals, we are not going to see a real impact. At the same time, with so many of million consumers, we have a great opportunity there. So I see that sustainability is a space which is going to be the next big thing. I think we're going to see a multiple startups coming and building solutions around it. We happen to be there. We never started as a sustainability platform. Now many startups are coming and saying, day one we are a sustainability platform company, but we evolved there from a kabaddi wala to a sustainability platform. And we see that opportunity is much larger in the coming years. From our side, we are aiming that by 2025, we would like to be a company which is defining sustainability standards for the corporates in India. And we want most of them to use our platform for the same. At the same time, we would like to channelize 7 to 8% of India's waste through our ecosystem. So it doesn't go to landfill, it doesn't go to the places like ocean, and it gets at the right place for getting it recycled. So this is the vision we have. I'm sure with the right team and right ecosystem, we seems to be on a right path to achieve that. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? The floor is open. Thank you so much, sir, for throwing light on waste management and reminding us again that as long as we live, waste is going to be a part of our lives, and how entirely thriving businesses can be built on something so close and so basic to life as waste, not just built in a thriving way, but sustained over the years to come. Thank you so much for that. A huge round of applause for Mr. Abhay Deshpande. Requesting our THub team to once again present a memento. Sir, you've taken out time for us today, and you've indeed added a lot of value to this iconic day. We would like to have a picture along with our colleague from THub. And sir. Yeah, along with a memento. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, we are indeed honored to have you here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we would like to take a break for high tea, and we shall resume at 12:30 p.m. when we shall all gather back here again. And